I was living in Shanghai. I flew up to Beijing and went to the shop, picked it up. Nice, I like it.
A lot of people don't.
All right, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, my birthday gift to you, Robert One Man Johnson.
Well, a young man that I met in 1983, and he's having his 60th birthday, a couple days late, I guess. I just had my 75th about September 12th, so I got a little head start on him. Here's a song I never played before for anybody. I just finished it. Actually, I'm still working on the words. I hope I can remember it. This song is about hobos and hitchhiking, stuff that we probably don't have too much connection to anymore. I used to hitchhike a lot, naively, and I always used to pick up any hitchhiker that had a guitar. And I remember one time driving from Iowa City to Cedar Rapids to play a place called, I can't think of the name of the place. It was in a town and country shopping center. I can't think of the name of the place, doesn't matter. But I was driving down the road and I seen this guy on the side of the road with a guitar case, and I stopped to pick him up and I said, all right, where are you heading? He said, I'm going to Cedar Rapids. I said, well, so am I, so I'll give you a ride. And he get in the car and he's sitting there for a while, and I said, so you play the guitar, yeah? He said, yeah. I said, you going to a gig tonight? What's up? He said, yeah, I'm opening up for some geezer named Robert One Man Johnson. It was Catfish Keith. And that was before I ever met him. Hitchhiking a hobo, trying to catch a ride with his thumb. Hitchhiking a hobo, trying to catch a ride with his thumb. The sun is shining, but his tired old body is numb. Newspaper in his pants legs, cardboard in his shoes. Newspaper in his pants legs, he's got cardboard in his shoes. He spent his last old dirty dollar on a bottle of rock gut booze. Now the leaves are falling, breeze blowing through the trees. Wet winter weather, bring an old man to his knees. Drifting and rambling, it's a terminal disease. Snow was blowing, frost laying on the ground. The snow was blowing, frost laying on the ground. Wild geese police are calling. Believe it's time to leave this town. He loves your mama, but his feet just won't stand still. He loves your mama, but his feet just won't stand still. He needs that highway like a drunkard needs his fill. Hitchhiking hobo, trying to catch a ride with his thumb. Hitchhiking hobo, trying to catch a ride with his thumb. Now the sun is sinking down so low, and his tired old body is numb. The sun is sinking down so low, I believe he's almost done. Thank you so much. My old Grandpa Johnson, was a Swede. He and his wife had come over from Sweden when they were married in America. And back in the late 30s, the paper mill closed and he didn't have a job. And he left town. It just disappeared. He went out, we turned out, he went out somewhere out in California and worked around out there, kind of bumming around, and then 7 or 8 years later, he came back to Rhinelander, Wisconsin. He walked in the door, poured himself a cup of coffee, and typical Swedish fashion, not a word of anger or anything was expressed. They just sat there, and he had come home to die and be buried in the Lutheran cemetery. That story always stuck with me. My old grandma, when she was laying on her deathbed, and me and my 4 brothers were paraded before her, she looked up at me and she said, "Bobby, you always were so puny." That's the last word she spoke to me. Anyway, I'm getting of an age now where I start thinking about the old days and stuff that maybe isn't even relevant to most of the people that come out to listen to me play, but I can't help it. It's just the way it is. It's who I am. I'm gonna play a B.B. King song for you. Kind of relates to the last theme. This is a blues confessional called "It's My Own Fault." You hear everything okay? Is it all balanced out, right? Yeah, it sound good?
Great.
It's my own fault, baby. Treat me any way you want to do. I said it's my own fault. Treat me any way you want to do. Because, you know, it's hard to only play an hour, and you want to get all these songs that, you know, I got a lot of tunes to sing for you tonight. I better just shut up and let me do this one for you. This one's called "Nothing I Can Do But Sing the Blues." day. The rain is raining and the sky is gray. And I think, why bother? I go back to bed, 'cause there's nothing but these blues inside my head. My friends see me and they give me five. I'm like a jester, I joke just to survive. Then they inquire, well man, what's new? I say there's nothing I can do but sing the blues. Up in the morning and I greet the day. The rain is raining and the sky is gray. I think, why bother? I go back to bed, 'cause there's nothing but these blues inside my head. If you see me and I grin and nod, it's an illusion, just a false facade. Going through the motions and shuffled in my shoes, 'cause there's nothing I can do but sing the blues. All I can do is sing the blues. Don't you hate that one in the middle of a song, your finger picks comes flying off and goes, and you can't reach it? Oh man, thank you. Thank you, appreciate that. Well, I'm gonna do a couple more songs on this, and then I got this old national over here. I'm gonna play some songs on it, some slide guitar songs.
Well, it doesn't sound
Well,
like a flat top.
Say what?
I was just telling them how that doesn't sound like an ordinary flat top. That
Yeah.
sounds so different.
Yeah, it's got a different sound. It's brighter and, I don't know, old-fashioned sounding to
Well,
me.
rich. It sounds rich. Like each note is the most valuable gold note you can.
Well, I want to tell you something about the company that made this. And, you know, we all have our ideas about international politics and stuff like that. But, you know, my wife and I lived overseas for 28 years teaching kids from all over the world. And when we were living in China, in Shanghai, we had one of the kids on our school in Shanghai. The father was in charge of what did they call copyright law and all that sort of copyright infringement stuff, and
Steal stuff.
the people from the Chamber of Commerce were also real tight on stuff. Anyway, again, to try to shorten up the story, I flew up to Beijing because I had read in a book about the Eastman Guitar Company, and I'd seen some examples and thought, Jesus, those are nice guitars. I started writing emails to them, and they said, nah, it's export only. We cannot sell you a guitar. And
Did that.
I finally wore them down, and they said, well, if you come up and tour the factory, maybe we'll think about it. So I flew up there and went through the factory, and by golly, I got to tell you something. Here was this bunch of workers. They lived in dormitories on the premises and stuff, and each one of them was hand making these guitars. And I want to tell you the truth, there was one planer and one, bandsaw. Every single thing else except the hardware and stuff, made by hand. And I went around all the different stations and chatted with the people through a translator, and basically what they were doing is they were learning every single part of guitar making, and when they would finish, they would be luthiers, and it was so cool. Anyway, they were paid well, they were happy people, no big deal as far as I'm concerned. And all Hohner harmonicas are made in Shanghai, China. They're stamped made in Germany, but all they do is they ship the harmonicas back to Germany, and they kind of tweak them and tune them a little bit, but they don't make them there. Anyway, here's a song I didn't write, but I sang back in 1959. I had a little band called the Debonaires. We played Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, Johnny Cash, and we also played a lot of music by one of my favorite guys, Little Richard. Y'all know Little Richard screaming? Yeah. Well, here's the B-side. The B-side of Keep a Knockin' If You Can't Come In, right? It's called Oh Miss Ann, and here's my version of it. Saw Miss Ann twice.